We're live on YouTube, X, and hopefully Instagram as well. We're all welcome. We're all welcome. This is scholarship season, and so I want to hold this Q&A. A lot of us are applying already, preparing to apply, and might have questions as well. So just to give us some clarity as to the things we need to know, any questions you're experiencing while applying, we would handle that in today's call. All right, so if you're around, you can drop in the chat where you are watching from, I can already see Akinle in the chat. So the country you are tuning in from. Today we're just going to be doing Q&A. It's just going to be Q&A from start to finish. So questions that you have, concerns, clarity that you need about scholarships, how to apply, and everything in between. Yes, we'll be handling that today. Okay, Daniel from Ghana, awesome. Yusuf, Lagos, Nigeria, wonderful. All right. We're all welcome. Okay, so there's a link that's showing on the screen now. You can go to that link and then put your question there. That's where we'll be answering questions from today. So you can go to the link and put your questions there. You can go to the link, put your questions there, then you can even vote on which question should be answered first, which should be answered second, and all that, so that everybody's own can be covered. Hopefully, we would be able to cover so many questions today. Okay, more people. Fatima from Nigeria, you're welcome. Chinaza, Lagos, Nigeria. Do we help people to apply? No, we don't help people to apply, but we guide, like the full-on guidance that you need from start to finish, the whole process. You've never applied before, you don't even know what application means, all the way to getting fully funded scholarship. Yes, we do that. So it's more like mentorship structured and guidance structured as opposed to like applying on your behalf. So the link that's on the screen, you can go there, ask questions. Precious from Lagos, Nigeria, you're welcome. Blessing from Nigeria, you're welcome. Life, do I review SOP and personal statements? Yes, 100%. I review SOP, CV, code, email for people in my bootcamp. The link, I'm going to show the link later on in this video. But anywhere you are watching this from, you should have seen the link there as well. If you join the bootcamp, your SOP will be reviewed. Temiko from Nigeria, you're welcome. Evergreen, following for close to a year now from Ebonyi State. Thank you for all the support. It means a lot to me, honestly. You're the reason why I keep showing up. So thank you, Pedro from Lagos. Ahmed, you're welcome. Stella from Nigeria, you're welcome. Francis Moyosore from Lagos, you are welcome as well. All right. So some questions have started coming into Slido. I have shown the link on the screen. If you have any question, you can go to that link so that we handle it together. Today is all about just answering questions. And Victoria from Abuja, you're welcome as well. Today is just about answering questions. That's all we want to cover today. Questions that you have about scholarships, admissions, applications, anything of that nature. Hopefully God will help us and we would gain a lot of mileage today and cover it. Ahmed from OAU, you're welcome as well. Okay. So let's go straight into the questions. So the beautiful thing about this platform, this Slido platform, is that you can vote for questions that you want to be answered first. Like questions you want me to prioritize, you can vote for those questions, and then we would get to them. Okay. My major concern with PhD applications is research experience. Is there a way to work around it? Do you want me to encourage you, or do you want me to be honest with you? I think I prefer the honesty one. PhD is a research degree. PhD is a research degree. People are asking about the link. Let me show it again. You can also scan the QR code that is showing on the screen as well. PhD is a research degree. There's no way around it. Like, it's not masters that you just do coursework and maybe you have a project at the end to show that, okay, you've learned these things, you've learned the skills, and then you are given the degree. PhD is a research degree. For you to be admitted to do a PhD and funded, because I guess that's why you're asking the question, you want to know if you can get a PhD scholarship. For you to be admitted and funded, you must have research experience. Like, there's no way around it. The question now, the way I want to answer this question is, how do you get research experience? That's the more helpful advice, as opposed to, is there a way to avoid submitting research experience? You have to, if you're going to get funded. Because the best predictor of the future is the past. You need to have done research in the past for them to trust that when you are in this research program, you would also do research as well. So research experience, how do you get research experience? First things first, your undergrad, final year project, that's research experience. So you should phrase that intentionally in your SOP, whether or not you've published it. So as the time I was applying for my PhD, I had not published my bachelor's project, research project, and my master's research project. I had not published any of them as the time I was applying, but I phrased that very well in my SOP and also in my CV to show that it is my research experience. So if you studied in Nigeria, then you most likely did the final year project. That's research experience. If you didn't do any form of research experience whatsoever, then my advice would be a low-hanging fruit. So your professors in school, there are some of them that publish more than others. So you can start with your advisor, you can start with a professor you're close to, and just ask the person. So just ask the person, now I want to get some publications under my belt. I want to publish that. Can I be your research assistant, or is there someone that you recommend for me to talk to? And then if the person is your friend and a nice person, hopefully they'll point you in the right direction. So by the time you start working with that professor as a research assistant, whether or not you're paid, they're trying to get the experience under your belt. You want something, right? So if the money comes, good. If it doesn't, it's still all good, because it's adding to your profile. So be a research assistant for that professor, and as they are publishing, as they are doing work, you are assisting them, and then you're able to get research experience. Another thing is research institutes. So there are some research institutes in our various countries that we can look for and be a part of, even if you're just interning or if you're volunteering there and all that. So these are ways to get research experience. There is really, like, you must have research experience when you are applying for a PhD. There's honestly no way around it. All right. I believe we've answered that well. I'm currently planning on taking the GRE. The link is showing on the screen. So if you have a question, just type it there, and then we can also vote for questions that you want to be answered. Don't ask questions in the chat. I'm not going to be responding to questions in the chat. Ask questions on the Slido so that we can vote on the questions that we want to be responded to. All right. I'm currently preparing on taking the GRE happening this month, and that's the reason why I've not applied to any school yet. Is that valid? Is it valid? Yes, it's valid. It's a very valid reason. It's a very valid reason. GRE helps. It helps, especially when you're applying to a program that requires it or recommends it. So the way they phrase it on the website is, it is required, GRE is required, or they may say GRE is optional or recommended, something of that nature. Then you know that they would consider it when you're applying. There are some other programs that they blatantly say, we do not consider GRE. So whether or not you have 340 over 340 and you apply, then they are not going to consider you. But if you're going to write a GRE, then you also want to find programs where it is required or optional. That makes it very good. Is there a valid reason to not have applied yet? This is October. So yes, it's a valid reason, actually. A lot of the fall applications will have their deadline like December. So some of them December 1st, some others December 15th, some others December 31st, and then some others January 15th, January 31st, and some February 1st, especially if you want funding. After February 1st, applying, it might be hard to get funding. It might be hard to get scholarship. But so if you've not applied for your GRE yet, if you've not applied for schools yet because of GRE, it's okay. It's fine to take the time to get a high score. What I usually recommend to my students in the boot camp is 100 hours. Ooh, 100 hours sounds big. It's not a lot. It's 2 hours a day for 2 months. That's 100 hours. 4 hours a day for 1 month. That's 100 hours. So if you're able to put in that time, because it's an exam, so there's a way the questions are asked, and there's a way your brain should be working to respond to those questions. So it's a valid reason. Please take the time to get a high score in the GRE before you now apply. So you can look to apply in November, December, and all that. That's completely fine. Okay, so we've answered that question. I also want to say we can vote on questions. So this thumb here, we can vote on questions, and you can also check if a question that you have has already been asked by someone. We can also check if a question that you have has already been asked by someone. I can't afford the cost of any tier of the upcoming bootcamp. Is there any scholarship coming up for the bootcamp? Yes, there's a scholarship that is running now. If you get to my Instagram account, it's still my name on Instagram, Musbel Halite. There's currently a scholarship that is going on now. 3 people, because several people reached out to me because of these complaints that they can't afford it, they need some form of help and all that. And so 3 people are going to be getting free access to the bootcamp, the silver tier of the bootcamp, where you get the full package, and scholars, people that have won scholarships here in the US, are going to review your documents. 3 people will be getting that for free. So head over to Instagram and be a part of the application for it. All right, so I've answered that. What is the writing sample? Is it the same as project work I did in my final year? Yes. Writing sample, project work. The project that you did serves as a writing sample. In essence, what a writing sample is they want to judge how well you do academic writing. So how good are you when it comes to academic writing? If you've read papers, if you've read some publications before, maybe you went to scholar.google.com and you read publications, you'll notice that the way academics phrase their thing is not like what you see on social media. It's not like what you see online. Yes, the choice of words and everything. So writing sample wants to be sure that you can do academic writing, and one easy way to do that is your final year project. So package it up well, package it up well. You might not just submit it like that. Except if you published it, then you would have done some more review on it before publishing it. But if you didn't publish your final year project, go through it, take the time, go through it, run it through Grammarly to be sure that there's no grammatical error, read through it, then you can now submit that as your writing sample. It works, and it works very well. Where is that question? It's okay. This is it here. Awesome. What is considered to be a competitive GRE score? Okay, I'm just going to give my own perspective on this. There are different people that are saying different things, but to be competitive now in 2025's world, in 2025 application cycle, to be competitive now, 320 at least over 340. So when I wrote my GRE, I got 308. As at then, I wrote GRE in 2017. Yeah, March 2017. As at then, which was like 8 years ago, that was a good score. But in today's world, it's not. Yeah, so now 320 over 340 is a competitive score. I won't really advise you to get anything less than 320, honestly. And things have changed from when I wrote the GRE. When I wrote the GRE, it was 4 hours that I used to write the exam. So you sit and write for 4 hours. You have like break in between, like 10 minutes break. But it's a 4 hours exam. So it was really intense. But now it's 2 hours. So they've kind of lightened the load to help you even get that 320 easier. Okay, so 320 over 340, that should be what you should be aiming for. Thank you for your prospective students. Precious, thank you for using your name. Every other person is anonymous. Everybody will have names. Why don't you just leave your names there? Okay, looking for masters with full funding in human computer interaction. One quick way to always check, way to check for scholarships in your program is to get on Google and type masters in whatever it is, probably human computer interaction, graduate assistantships. So if you search that on Google, you will see some programs and some blogs. Yes, but human computer interaction, I've not really heard of that course before. So that might not be how it's phrased. Be open-minded. When it comes to scholarships, you have to be open-minded. You just have to. You have to be open-minded. When you search for it online, the names of the programs that might come out might not be human computer interaction. You know what you're looking for. So open those links, go through the curriculum, go through the website to now see, are they giving you what you want? Is this what you want to learn? Is this what you're expecting to actually learn from this kind of program? It might not be the same thing. So it might not be called human computer interaction. That's my point. But search with that master's human computer interaction graduate assistantships, and you should see some things. Must I be skilled in programming or software like MATLAB and GIS to confidently apply for a PhD program with my civil engineering background? I studied data science, not civil engineering, so I cannot answer this. MATLAB or GIS, I don't know. I'm not a civil engineer, so I can't tell you. I don't know the relevance of these programs, of these tools in civil engineering in today's world. So you'll be better off asking someone that is studying civil engineering. You can find them on LinkedIn or even X, and now ask them about MATLAB and GIS and how helpful it is. Can I add a manuscript still under peer review as in reviewing my CV? 100%. 100%. Yes, please. Yes. Yes. Ensure you do it. So in the CV, several sections in the CV under publications, put the citation, the proper citation style, whether Chicago, MLA, or APA citation style of the publication with the authors and the name of the paper and the journal and all those things. And then you can now write in review, manuscripts in review in brackets at the end of it. So 100%, please include it. Include it. It's whether in review or this thing is work that you have done, which should be recognized. When is the best time to start sending cold emails to professors regarding research opportunities or assistantships? When is the best time to send emails? The best time to do anything was yesterday. The second best time is now. Okay, but when is the best time? This is the season of applications. So honestly, the best time would have been during the summer. So during that summer time, that might have been the best time. The other best time is actually now. So this is still a good time. If you are looking at starting next year, fall 2026, next year, then you can send cold emails now, so that if you get positive feedback and they tell you to apply, you can apply. So it's still within the application window. Okay. What's the difference between expert review and news-based review? This is for the Scholarship Accelerator Bootcamp. Expert review, which is the silver tier, are other international students are here in the US. So other international students, some of my friends, actually very solid people, scholars as well, they would now review your documents. I won't review personally, although during the bootcamp I will teach and would have several things together. You would ask questions, I respond to you and all of that. So you get all the clarity that you need, all your questions will be answered. But when it now comes to, okay, you've applied what I said you should do, your code email is ready, your CV is ready, your SOP is ready, you need a scholar to look at it, because there are things that you you are looking at but you won't see, right? So us that we have spent several years in the system, will now review it, look at it, and give you detailed feedback on what to improve. So for the expert review, the silver package, they would do it. Other scholars here in the US would do it. But then for the gold package, I would do it myself. And for people in the gold package, we would also have, in addition to the review, documents review, we also have a one-on-one call where I would drop a strategy plan with you, like you get more clarity on your application and all those things. So that's the difference between the expert review and my review. All right. I'm a microbiology graduate. Can I get a scholarship to study nursing? Let me summarize. Let me give you a good response to all these kind of questions as to can you get a scholarship for a different program. So maybe you started in this program and you want to move to a different program. Can you get a scholarship for it? Yes, 100%. You can always get a scholarship for any program. The thing is, scholarships are only given to scholars. Scholarships are only given to scholars. So for you to get scholarship to study nursing, you need to have a strong profile in nursing. You will not use a microbiology profile to get scholarship for nursing. You have to use a nursing profile to get scholarship for nursing. Your undergrad, your microbiology undergrad can be part of your nursing profile, but you need experience with nursing. So to get a scholarship for nursing, you need to have worked in the hospital, done a couple of things. Probably you have work experience as a nurse. You've done things, there are things that you can show that, okay, you have experience in this field. You have results, tangible things that we can hold that, okay, you have done this, you have done this, you have done this, you have done that in the field of nursing, although your undergrad was in microbiology. Let me give a very beautiful example. So I'm doing a PhD in data science, Kennesaw State University here in the US. And One of my classmates that were admitted together, he has his bachelor's in biology and master's in biology. But PhD, we are in the same class studying data science. Biology and data science, they are not in the same WhatsApp group. They are not in the same WhatsApp group. Yeah. So how did he get a fully funded PhD for data science? He built a profile for data science. So he opts like his programming skills, his analytical skills, like he did things that a data scientist, anybody that's a data scientist would have done. So he's done all those projects on his own, which he highlighted very well in his SOP. I'm telling you that this person that is a biology graduate, he writes better code more than me. That I had my first degree in maths and then in statistics. Like I go to him when I have some coding challenges sometimes. So that's to tell you how good of a scholar he is in this field. So yes, you can get scholarship to study nursing, but you need to have a strong profile for nursing. That's the long and short of it. All right. Must my recommendation letter come from professors, as I don't have any kind of relationship with any professor and I graduated in April? That's weird. Like this April that just passed, that's when you graduated and you don't have any relationship with any of your professors. Not even the one that supervised your final year project. Like you don't even have a relationship with the professors that supervise your final year project. Must it come from professors? No, it must not. But you'll be harming yourself if it doesn't. So let me rephrase this question. Do I have a high? This is the way we're going to ask this question now. Do I have a high chance of getting scholarship if I don't use professors as my recommenders? No. It is better for you to have professors there. Now, they must not all be professors, but at least one. At the very least, one of them should be a professor. And if you just graduated in April, which is April this year, it means most of your profile is from your undergrad. You don't really have a lot of work experience. Maybe internships that you did during the summer, during the break of your undergrad degree, but majority of your results are from your undergrad. And so professors should be your 2 to 3 recommenders. If I'm speaking to someone now that graduated maybe 2020 and the person has like 5 years work experience, then okay, I can now say, one professor, 2 of your employers, that's fine as your recommenders. But you that just graduated in April, no. Go and look for those professors, buy them wine, buy them airtime, get them something, get them a gift or something, build a relationship with them. There's really no excuse for this one. Okay, before you applied, were you proficient in programming as a skill? I think I'm suffering from imposter syndrome. Yes, I was before I applied to data science. Yes, I was proficient in Python, in R, in SQL as well. So Python, R, SQL. I knew these 3 languages and MATLAB. I had done things with MATLAB. Although undergrad was in maths, and then master's when it was in applied statistics, and I was coming in for data science. So it was very important that I knew how to program. Yes, so I had to learn it on my own. I didn't probably learn it in class. During my master's though, we were taught R, we used R, and I used Python for one class, but then majority of it I had to learn on my own and online. So yes, I was proficient. I was not a guru, like an expert to come and start teaching people how to program, but yes, I was proficient. Please clarify by professors, do you mean lecturers or actual professors? Lecturers. I mean lecturers. I don't mean like full professors. I mean like lecturers, people that are teaching in in university. Sorry, I've become Americanized. Here in the US, like a lot of people that are teaching in universities, we refer to them as professors. So I actually mean people that are teaching at at university level, tertiary level. So whether it's lecturer one, lecturer two, senior lecturer, professor, any one of those categories, it must not actually be professor that has been there for years. No, it mustn't be for the recommenders. Thanks for that question as well. Okay. I feel I don't have enough to my CV yet. So I haven't really made any move to start. I'm currently serving in NYSC and I'll be done by next month. There's no question here. You don't feel you have enough on your CV and you don't made any move to start, but there's no question now. Like, I don't know what you're asking. Like, I don't know what you're asking. Are you concerned about starting or are you concerned about the CV? I don't know. Please, if you can react that and clarify the questions. Is it too late to begin planning an application for 2026 fall intake? What's the advice to someone just starting out the application? It's not too late. This is the season. This is the application season. The season just opened up like August, September, and it's going to run till December or January. So we are in application season. It's not too late. It's not too late. What's my advice for someone that is just starting out the application? Is it late to begin planning? So it means like you just stumbled into this whole application thing probably like 1 week ago. Okay, that's you actually have a lot of catching up to do. Honestly, you can read stuff that I've published online, and there are even a lot of helpful materials online. Wherever you are watching this from, my Twitter, I have a thread on the steps that it takes. On my YouTube as well, I've covered a video on 8 years of experience, 8 years of scholarship experience. Those videos are good places to start. But honestly, if you want to really get in by the fall 2026, because there are a lot of mistakes that people make. To tell you otherwise is to lie to you. There are a lot of mistakes that people make. So if you want to avoid that, I would strongly advise that you join my bootcamp. We just finished the cohort. It ran from August 9th to middle of September. And then another one is coming up from October 18th till November 28th. So I want to get as much people as possible ready for fall 2026. So I would strongly advise, if you're just starting out, like the whole planning thing, you've not been making moves since, I would recommend that you join the bootcamp. But the first step though would be get your transcript from your school. Request your school to send you your transcript. Okay. Is it okay to take the GRE strength in my application, give my 2 undergrad, distinction in my master's and 4 publications, or is not necessary? I'm guessing this is for a PhD, since you already said you have a master's degree. So this is for a PhD. Is it okay to take the GRE and 4 publications? Or it's not necessary. This now depends on you. This depends on you. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Do you want to, because as I'm looking at your profile now, 4 publications means when it comes to scholarships in the US, there are mostly 2 major routes. There's the cold email route. There is the program scholarship route. So the program scholarship route, you are applying with a strong application packet. Your CGPA is high, all these things, all the requirements, your SOP, CV, everything is strong and all that. And then the program funds the people that they admit. So that's like how I got my own scholarships. The programs that I applied to in Bowling Green, in East Tennessee State University, in Clemson University, in Kennesaw State University, they all give assistantships to students that come in. That's the program route. But then there's the cold email route, where you can just email professors. So you find professors, release a video on YouTube and a thread on X that shows you how to do this. So you find professors in different universities that align with publications that you've done. So you must have done something. Must. So professors that align with publications that you've done, and then you now send them cold emails. So if you want to increase your chances of, like you're going for a PhD, you want to increase your chances for both routes, then I'll advise you to write a GRE. So that in addition to you sending some cold emails, maybe you shortlist like 10 schools, you plan to send to 2 professors per school, so you send like 20 cold emails, you will now still have a strong profile for 10 schools as well because of the GRE. So to increase your chances, I would encourage you to write a GRE. But if you want to just go hard on the cold email route, then feel free. You can leave out the GRE and just lock in, like you're going to send like 50 to 100 emails. You just lock in and you're banging out emails every week. So the choice is yours, ultimately. Okay. Emmanuel, thank you for adding your name. I plan to apply for Master's in Cybersecurity 3.24 or 4.0. What are my funding chances and how can I stand out? First of all, HND is important and good that you evaluate your transcript. So you evaluate so that you increase your options of schools that you can apply to and they understand your degree and they appreciate it. So it's not all universities that view ND and HND as a 4-year bachelor degree. It's not all universities that do that. But then when you evaluate using WES or using the evaluation company, you can use one of these two. The reason why I recommend these two actually is you will have your own unofficial copy. So when you're applying to schools, there are usually 3 forms of transcripts you can apply with. There's the unofficial, there's the official, and then there's evaluated. So unofficial is your own copy. You get it from the school. When you are filling out the application form, you just upload the PDF. So you don't have to pay anything. Just upload the PDF. You paid once to get it from the school, but every other time it will just be free like that. Official, you have to request your school to send it to the school you're applying to. So you have to pay for every one that will be sent. But then for the evaluated, it has to come straight from the evaluation company. And you have to also pay for it. But with this evaluation with WES and the evaluation company, TEC, you have the unofficial evaluated. So when you're applying to schools that say they need unofficial, you just upload it. You've paid for the evaluation once, so you just upload it. So that's the first thing I'll tell you to do. Evaluate your transcript, first of all. What are your funding chances? Are you relying on your CGPA alone? Because that's what you put here. If it's just 3.0 over 4.0 that you want to use to get funding, it's low. There has to be other things in your profile. So how is your work experience? Do you have any publications? Have you volunteered in areas that are consistent with the cybersecurity you're going to? So like, what are the things that you've done? What are the things you've done? Have you led in the past leadership experience? Have you taken online courses? Have you gotten certifications? Are you a member of professional organizations? Have you presented at conferences? Do you attend professional conferences? These are all things that come into play to build your profile. Actually, next Saturday, I'm having a webinar on this profile thing and like having the right profile for scholarship. So be on the lookout for that flyer. It's going to happen next week Saturday. So if you are banking on your 3.24 alone, it does not hold water. You've tried. You've done well to graduate with 3.24 or 4.0. But to now get scholarship, other things have to be in that profile. Yeah, other things have to be there. And this is what we talk a lot about in the bootcamp, Scholarship Accelerator Bootcamp. Okay. What is life like after these studies, financial wise? A very, very easy way that I used to recommend for people to check what it's like, because you're trying to ask like finance wise, so that you get to know if it's worth it in the first place. An easy way I used to like tell people to do is you can just go on glassdoor.com, and then you check what you want to study. How much is the salary? You can check on LinkedIn as well. So you can Google it online, and then you can check on LinkedIn as well. And by the time you have a look at, okay, how much are these people earning? A data scientist now, for example, 100,000 a month, 80,000, sorry, a year. My apologies. $100,000 a year, $80,000 a year, or whichever amount like the person is earning in a year. And then you see that, okay, this is what the earning power is like. On LinkedIn, you will also see that as well. Finance-wise, how is life like? So apart from the money that you'll be earning higher income, guaranteed, than probably whatever you're earning where you are. Apart from that, there are now like monthly bills to pay and all that. Like there's so much convenience here in the US. There's so much convenience, so much. So you're paying rent every month, paying for your housing, utilities, your car. If you buy a 2025, a brand new 2025 Range Rover Sport, probably that's what you're driving. You're paying money on it every month, paying for insurance, car insurance. So there are also things to handle with money. If you are a financially wise person, so you have some very good financial discipline, you have a lot of money after. Yes. But if you really just want to, you don't care, you just want to enjoy the best things in life and just this thing. So I guess that's how I say life is like after studies. But you have to work though. Yeah, you have to work. If you're not working, remember you're paying rent every month. You're also receiving your salary every month as well. If you're now are lazy, you're not meeting up to expectations, then you can be laid off. And if you're laid off, how do you now afford the house you're in? And the first of the month, you have to pay rent. You have till fourth of the month before they evict you from the house. So you have to be on your A game. Yeah, that's just the summary of the whole thing. Like you have to be on your A game, finance wise. But the benefits are here if you are ready to put in the work. And this whole application process, I view it as training. Training is going to train you how fast-paced life is over here. All right. Just finished my engineering degree with a first class. Congratulations. My final year project was a computer vision project. How do I go about finding scholarships? So you can do, I mentioned the two routes of the cold email and the cold email route and the program route as well. So if you're going to go the cold email route, you have to find professors with research interest in computer vision. Yeah. Find professors that have research that they are doing, current research in computer vision, and they are the people that you're going to send cold emails to. That's a good way of getting scholarship. The other way is just that you're going to apply to, you can now apply to like engineering programs. I don't know which engineering that you did. Apply to engineering programs, the one that is aligned with where you finished and what you want to do, and then boost up your profile with all the things we've spoken about today. We've mentioned several other ways today. So you can boost up your profile before you now apply. Can I include links to social pages on my recommendation letter draft, especially since my recommender doesn't have an official email through which they can be contacted? If your recommender is using Gmail, that recommendation might not be taken seriously. If your recommender is using Gmail. So like, Official email. That official email thing is a big deal. Yeah, it's a big deal actually. So links to social pages. Okay, you can you can include it in. You can include it in. Hopefully, it's gonna help. Um, I can't really say, but hopefully, it's gonna help. The official email thing is a big one. So whether you are using an academic from school or your employer, the email address should be official. It shouldn't be a Gmail for best results. Probably if it's not official, it will still work. Okay. Precious asking for recommendation. The recommenders have to have their letterhead on the recommendation letters. The way recommendation works nowadays is that when you are applying, when you are like filling out the form, the application form for that school, and you get to the recommenders place, they're going to ask you to fill in details. So the recommender's name, email address, organization, position, affiliation, all those things. So you fill them in, and then the platform will automatically send them a recommendation, an email for them to fill out a recommendation form for you. So that form is like an online form that they fill. For some schools, they might be requested to upload a letter. Now, this is why I'm taking the time to answer this question. If it is the school that requires just form, then no need for letterhead because you are not uploading any letter. You're just going to they are just going to fill in details in those spaces. But if it's a school that needs a letter, then yes, letterhead. Yes, letterhead should be there. So if what the email that your recommender got was requesting them to upload a letter or to send a letter, then letterhead should be there. It gives more credibility to it. You like what we are trying to do here is we're trying to increase our chances and reduce the questions. We don't want people to be asking questions about our profile like, is this person legit and all that? Did they forge this recommendation letter? So we want to reduce that as much as possible. And a letterhead solves that easily. All right. I don't want to take any English test. Nice. How do I navigate applications that require this? Especially that I'm applying for a master's in tech-related course. This one is quite easy. Since you do not want, I love the ambition. It's the ambition for me. I really wish you put your name. So since you don't want to take any English test, it's fine. You just need to find schools that don't require it. Yes. So I don't know the country you're from. If you're from Nigeria, if you're from Ghana, if you're from Kenya, if you're from Gambia, Zimbabwe, Zambia, I don't know the country you're from, Cameroon, whichever country you're from, there are schools that waive English tests on the basis of your country. So where did you have your first degree? If you had your first degree in any one of the countries listed on their website, then you won't be required to actually take an English test. So currently on my YouTube channel, I'm doing a JACPA project. Wherever you're watching this from, if you are not already watching the JACPA project, then I'll tell you for free that you're missing out. So the JACPA projects, I've been on it for a while now. Every week I've been posting videos. So I'm just going to share this. So this is where it started, Clemson, and then Wayne State, and the University of South Carolina. These are schools that waive English tests. These are schools that waive English tests. And I have many more schools and videos in the pipeline that I've been working on for you, just going to bring value for all of you to help your scholarship journey and all. So you can check out these videos. Check out this video. There are all schools that don't require English tests for some countries, and I really get into details there of how it can be waived and all that. So you can find schools. You can find schools. Why did my screen stop sharing? You can find schools that don't require. You can find schools that don't require English tests and apply to them instead. Okay, let's see how many more questions we can answer before our time runs out. How do I get my recommenders to write recommendations when I'm applying to over 4 universities? You don't have an issue. You don't have a problem. 4. Just 4. I'm counting 4 on my fingers. You don't have a problem at all. No, you don't have a problem. The thing is, always remember that it's a win-win relationship. It's a win-win relationship. So you want them to write recommendation letters for you, to fill out those recommendation forms for you for many schools. What are they getting from you? You are not buying the recommendation, no. But you can show your appreciation. You're not bribing them for it, no, but you can show your appreciation. Yeah, so what I mean by that is appreciate them, get them something. If it's to buy them airtime, if it's to take a bottle of wine to them, if it's to like do something, appreciate them, just appreciate them. You already have a relationship with them. So you don't need to appreciate them for the recommendation letter. You can just appreciate them for whatever thing. If you was a professor in school, appreciate them for, thank you for being so helpful throughout my undergrad days. If it's your employer at work, thank you for even giving me this chance to be here working in this job and all of that. So appreciate them, let your intentions known, and they have to do it before you start even talking about the recommendation thing. Give them the appreciation. So if you've spoken to them about it already, now send them appreciation even before they start writing recommendation letters for you. It's not when they finish you now appreciate. No, do it before. It helps a lot. Okay. I'm a 1-1 graduate. So what does 1.1 graduate mean? Is that supposed to be first class? I don't know if that is another way of writing first class, but I'll assume that it's first class. So a first class graduate of mechanical engineering awaiting NYSC. I plan to use my service year coming up very soon to prepare my scholarship plan. Where do I start? An easy way will be to join my boot camp. Honestly, it has everything that you need to know and to help you build that plan as well in the boot camp. To summarize this as to where you start, get your transcript. First of all, get your transcript, start preparing your CV, start learning about the things that are in SOP and start planning to write your own SOP. And then get some research experience under your belt. If you can speak to your advisor, your final year project supervisor, speak to the person for your final year project to be published. That would go a long way. So all of these are to build your profile. So the way to start is actually build your profile. That's the way to start. Do things. The way you build profile is by doing things. That's how you build profile. You build profile by doing things. Okay. I found out there are 2 types of master's programs, learning and research assistant. As a fresh graduate, which one is advisable to go for? 2 types of master's program. A research assistant is a master's program. Let me rephrase this question to be able to answer it because I don't understand this. 2 types of master's program. I will say grad assistantships for master's degrees. Learning and research assistant. Which one is advisable to go for? Learning assistant, I've not heard of that before. Research assistant, of course, That's what I am currently. When you're doing research for a professor, you are a research assistant, assisting them with research that they are doing, that they are driving forward. Learning and research assistant. Okay, this question is not clear. I can't answer it. You can rephrase it and send it again. Okay, I want to start applying this season, but I feel I haven't done so much to add to my CV. Feel somewhat inadequate. What do you advise? Do things, do things, do things, do things, do things, do things. Get busy. Get busy. Volunteer. An NGO, a volunteer, a research institute, or become a research assistant to your professor. Like, get busy and do things. With your work, you want to apply for a particular degree, and get work experience in that field. So it's really just to do things. There are so many things you can do as regarding like building your profile. Online courses. Can you take online courses? Can you do professional certifications? These are things you can do, and they can all be in your CV. All right. This is Emmanuel again. Most of my projects are in data science and web apps, Python. Now I'm taking Coursera, cybersecurity and pioneer projects. Will it boost your funding chances? Yes, it will. It will. Will it boost your funding chances? Yes. Yes, it will. But then, remember, it is the whole packet, the whole profile, the whole packet together that makes up your profile. That whole thing is what they consider before they give you funding. They don't just look at your project or look at your this. So will it boost? Yes. But it's your whole profile that needs to be strong. Even with my first class, I got denials from several schools. Denials from several schools, even with my first class. So will first class boost chances? Yes. Is it enough? No. Your whole profile needs to be strong. How is your SOP? How is your CV? What does it portray you as? These are things that come together to build your profile. It's not disjointed. I've done this, I've done that. Fine. You've done all of that. Good. Are you a chef that would bring all the ingredients together and cook a delicious soup? It's the same ingredients. One chef will cook party jollof that is really good. The other one will cook something that is a nightmare. So the same ingredients. So it depends on your profile, what you're applying with, how you are putting everything together. Victoria, 3.39 or 5.0 fully funded scholarship without evaluation and GRE score. Can you get fully funded without evaluation and GRE score? Yes, you can. But as I said, you have to be a scholar. So if you are not relying on GRE to boost your profile, what are you relying on? Do you have the work experience? Do you have the volunteer experience? Have you done the online courses, the certifications? Do you have publications? Do you have all these things? If you don't have those things, then no, you can't get fully funded scholarship. You have to be a scholar. Your profile needs to be strong. There is no going around it. Your profile needs to be strong. If your CGPA already is not so strong, so where is it strong? That's the question. If it's not strong yet, then do things so that it can be strong. And also, we talk about this in the bootcamp. All right. Graduated in 2023 with 4.09 over 5.0. Currently doing NYSC, no publication yet. Possible to secure full funding. So doing NYSC means you don't have a lot of work experience, no publication. Can you still get full funding? Yes, you can. I'll advise you to write the GRE. I'll advise you to write the GRE. I'll advise you to write the GRE. Since you don't have publication, your CGPA is decent. It's not over the moon, but it's decent. It's good. It's a good starting ground, a good starting point. But I advise you to still do more things before you can. Yes, you can get full funding, but you should do more things to your profile. That no publications that you don't have yet, can you do something about it? Your final year project, can you do something about it already? That's a low-hanging fruit that you can that's a low-hanging fruit that you can already turn to help boost your profile. All right, let's just see how many more you can carry. Thank you so much for the effort you put into doing this. I wonder if you are being paid for this. I love your smile. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate whenever I receive feedback like this. It's keeps me going. So thank you so much, Anonymous. I don't know what your name is, but wherever you are, thank you. Okay. What do you suggest for my application to health and data analytics course, given my pharmacy degree, 4 years of pharmacy work, and data analysis certificate? No, you didn't give me CGPA here. Pharmacy does not have CGPA. Okay. What do I suggest? 4 years and data analysis certificate. 4 years is really good. I really hope you have things to show from that 4 years. Like your CV is saying, I increased this by this percent, I increased this by this, I did this by that. Your CV is showing within that 4 years of pharmacy work that you've done. Like your CV is actually showing things that that you've done. What else would I recommend? Do you want to take a test? If yes, you're open to putting 100 hours into preparing for a GRE. If yes, then by all means, please go ahead, take the test, prepare for it. 100 hours, 4 hours a day, 1 month, 2 hours a day, 2 months, and then you're good to go. If you start now, October, you can write it end of November. GRE result comes out in like 2 weeks, and then you can still meet up with the December deadlines. So, what else do I recommend? Research experience. Yes, that's what I recommend. That's what's missing here. Research experience. So can you get some research experience under your belt as well? Your final year work, can you have that published? Talk to your advisor, your supervisor, to that you are interested in publishing. What should you do? And be serious. If the person sees seriousness from you, they would support that your intention to actually publish. Okay. Earlier you mentioned GRE score of 308. What do you think is the best way to prepare for the exam? My GRE score of 308, Dimeji, is not good in today's economy. In today's scholarship world, my 308 is not good. It's decent, but it's not. Like, if you want, wherever you're applying to, they look at your profile and say, this is a strong profile. 308 will not do it for you today. I wrote GRE 8 years ago, 2017 March. That was when I wrote it. And that was when I got 308. So today you are aiming for 320, at least 320. Best way to prepare, GregMarked. GregMarked. That is undisputedly the best way to prepare for GRE. These guys, their track record, I don't have any link, any affiliates, anything with them. But you check them out, it's gregmarked.com. And it's very affordable, $8 per month. But then if you use them, I know people that used it and they got 330, got 327. Students in my bootcamp that used it and got this course. So these guys are really, really good. I would strongly recommend them. I don't know the person personally, but the guy's plan is really good. So that's how I would advise that you prepare. Okay, let's go back to our questions. Had my US visa yesterday interview. This is supposed to be scholarship Q&A. They handed me a 221G slip, but they didn't keep my passport, but instead kept my I-20. What's your prediction? I'm not a prophet to make predictions, but 221G, you getting 221G is good. It's a good direction. It's a good step. So they might now request for you to Later on, bring your passport, or you have a higher chance of approval. So you're on the way to approval. That's what I'll say. Yes, you're on the way to approval. It's not firm yet. If not, you would have had the stamp on your passport. Yeah, you'd have had the stamp on your passport. So it's not firm yet, but you're on your way to approval. Just be on the lookout. The emails that you receive, be on the lookout. Always be checking your emails every day. And even those of us here applying for scholarships, be checking your emails. Like, you have entered the email empire. You've entered the email empire. So you have to be checking your emails constantly every day to be looking for updates. So my prediction is that you'll most likely be approved. You just have to keep checking. I just wrote a paper, but my supervisor wants his name first on the paper. Does that remove any merit from my publication? And would I need recommendation from him? Oof. Wow. Wow. Man, this one. Okay. Ideally, it's your paper. So you should be the first author. Ideally. Okay, the first thing I will say is pray. Take this your supervisor to the place of prayer. There's no one bigger than God. That's the first thing I recommend. Pray about it. Like, take your supervisor to God. Let him have a visitation at night. He or she. Okay, him. Let the person have a visitation at night. So that they will put you as first author, because it's your paper. So you actually should be first author on the paper. Let's work on that first. So pray so that it actually works out. But if it doesn't, if he still is insisting, does it remove any merits? As far as your name is on the publication as first or second, it's fine. How your name is there as first or second is fine. It carries more weight if it's first. Yes, it carries more weight if it's first. But if it's still second, it's okay. It's better than someone that was not a publication. Yeah. As you are now, you're better than me publication-wise when I was applying. Because I didn't apply with publications. So it's better than someone that does not have. Will you need recommendation from him? It's not a must, but his recommendation is very strong. That's why I won't advise you to go against what he wants. So if he says he wants to be first author, you should be second, go ahead with it. Because his recommendation letter will be strong. Like, when I mean strong, if you're going for a PhD or even a master, this is someone that you've worked with. And the person has done research, especially if it's PhD, because PhD is a research degree. So it's someone that has worked with you on a research relationship. So they can speak to your research abilities. Your CV will show this person's name, that you've done a publication with the person, and they look at the recommendation from this person. So his recommendation will carry weight. Yes, so it's helpful if you are able to get a recommendation from that professor and from that supervisor. All right. I wrote my personal statements, but used AI for editing. The checker flags it as 100% AI content. Can I still use it? Personally, I don't. In short, I probably should have given this disclaimer at the beginning of this live, but of course, all responses I'm giving are just my opinions. Yeah. I personally don't really recommend like whether AI checker and all those things as to, okay, if it's 100%, if it's 80%, if it's 90%, it means my SOP is not good. I don't judge and verify a personal statement that way. You use AI for editing it. The question now is, if you sit down to read it, does it read like a human being wrote it? Because in my flag, some of these AI checkers, they have false positives. So there are things that actually are written by humans that if you put it inside a checker, it will still give you 40% or 50%. When it's actually written by a human, like you wrote it. You yourself, you wrote it, you put it in the checker, it gives you 50% AI. That happens. So I don't use that to verify. So yes, you can still use it, but you have to be sure it reads natural. Does it read natural? Yeah. So that's what I'll say about that. But of course, it's not just about how it reads. Personal statements, there are 7 things that should be in a personal statement for it to be strong. And those 7 things, you need to highlight them well. Your personal background, academic background, your research experience, your professional experience as 4, your reason for being interested in that field, your reason for being interested in that university, that particular institution. And what's the 7th one? Just, it's flown off the top of my head. All right. Is it advisable for me to write a recommendation letter, like share them in drafts and that they can edit because they're very busy? Yes, please, 100%. This is also what I recommend my students to do. Write a draft, make the work easy for them. Every recommender, make the work easy for them. They might not use your draft, they might just work from it, edit it, optimize it, increase it, and now make it better. Yeah, they might not use the draft just as it is. So yes, 100%, please do it. Thanks for the wonderful insights. You're welcome. What are the career prospects for someone that studied mass comm after completing their studies in the US? I am not in mass communication. I'm not in mass comm. I'm not in mass comm. How do you know the career prospect? Now, for any field, any role, how do you know the career prospect? Number 1, the program website. So on that program website, they usually would have our students are working as this and that and that and that and that in those positions. You see those things there. If you check like 2, 3, 4, 5 schools, you won't miss it. You will always see it there on the program website. So you can use that to know the positions. Like as when you study mass comm, you might be a communications consultant, for example, or something. I don't know. Then whatever the names of those positions are, go to LinkedIn or go to Glassdoor and now check. So what is the salary of this role? You type in the role and then you check, you set the location to US or Canada, whichever country you want to go to. And then, okay, completing studies in the US. You set the location to US and now look at what are the salaries available, salary ranges. And that gives you an idea of the career prospects, the earning power, what those people are doing, if jobs are available for them. Because if there's a posting on LinkedIn for that role, or Indeed, so you can check LinkedIn, you can check Indeed, linkedin.com, indeed.com. If you see those postings there, then they are jobs. So that gives you an idea of the career prospects. All right. Emmanuel, just want to say thank you for all you do for everyone. I can't wait to share my testimony soon. I will tag you when the time comes. God bless you. Oh, thank you. I look forward to that. Please, when you get your scholarship, tag me, please. Let me celebrate with you, repost it as well, so that we are all growing together. All right. In my SOP for PhD in statistics, how should I present my research in applied mathematics and statistics without raising concerns about my shift? I'm wondering what you mean by shift. Because your research is in applied maths and statistics and you are going to PhD in statistics. So how is that a shift? If you were going from your applied maths and statistics and you are going to geology, then we can now start talking about shift. There's no shift here. You are still in the statistics and mathematics world. Yeah, you're still in statistics and mathematics world. You just need to talk about the research. Make sure you speak about your findings, about the things that you did. Talk about what you did. Talk about what you did. In this research, I did a research, analyze this. I did this. I did that. I did that. The findings, the results tells us that this and this and this and this and that happened. So the research experience there it's really to show that, especially for a PhD application, you're going for PhD in statistics, is to show that you can conduct research. Because research is a skill. as at my third year in undergrad, I did not have the skill of conducting research. Yeah, research is a skill. So is you talking about research experience is to show that you can conduct research, that you have the skill of conducting research. So there's no shifts actually, but just give a tip on how to do it. All right. How would you advise a tutu graduate in international relations and diplomacy to make his package stronger? Okay. How do you make your package stronger? And I said we're going to talk about this next week. There's a webinar on Saturday, next Saturday. The flyer is going to come out. Be on the lookout. Just be on the lookout for the flyer. How do you make your package stronger with a tutu? You look at all the other things that are in the application packets. There are about 15 things that you can do. One of them is your CGPA. And you can't do anything about it. It's already a tutu. But you can do things about the others. Work experience. What's up with the work experience? And next, this thing, I'll talk about those things, those 15 things next Saturday. So be here next Saturday. So your work experience. What's your work experience like? Do you have 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? If you can wait, like if you really want to eat the big fish, can you do a master's in your country first? Can you do a master's in your country first? You finish with tutu in undergrad. Can you do a master's in your country first? Finish with a first class distinction, whatever they call it, like the best of the best. And then even within that time of the 2 years that you're getting your master's, you would have now had publication under your belt. So you have this mindset of, I'm going for a foreign scholarship, so I can prepare early. So you have this mindset, and during your master's, as you are attending your classes, you are working as a research assistant with one professor, one or two professors. You are doing research with them so that you can have publications. All of this, by the time you are done with your master's, you have a very strong packet ready. If you don't want to go the master's route, then with your tutu, do you already have work experience? Or you just finished tutu this year? If you just finished tutu this year, then these are now the kind of people that Chevening are probably looking for. So Chevening scholarships, you can get Chevening with a tutu, but you need to have impact. So NGO, volunteering, like you've driven change. You've driven change. And I think Chevening is still open. Chevening is still open. So if you've done NGO related things like societal projects and all that, then by all means, I will encourage you to apply for Chevening. Even with your tutu, you can get it. Yes, by all means, I will encourage you to apply for it. But if you want to come to US, then you need something else apart from your tutu and work experience, research experience. Can you publish? And a couple of other things we're talking about today. Okay. Can I register for a boot camp now, even though my final year results from Lagos State University are not yet uploaded? I'm hoping to apply for fall 2026. If you're planning to apply for fall 2026, your final transcript, the dynamics in Nigeria and the US are not really the same. When I was applying for my PhD, I was still a master's student. Yeah, well, apart from my PhD, I was still a master's student, but it's in a US school. So I can just log on to my profile online and generate my unofficial transcript of all the semesters I've done so far. I can just do that. Yeah. But then for Lagos State University, I don't know if that's possible. If you can get your unofficial transcripts or maybe your statement of result or something. So, man, you're hoping to apply for fall 2026, and I don't really want to discourage you. I really want. There are two questions here. Can you join the boot camp and can you apply for fall 2026? If it's about joining the boot camp, yes, because some people will say that they joined the first cohort that I had in April. It's now that they're applying. So by the time they joined, they realized that, oh man, this scholarship thing, I'm not ready. My packet is not ready. My profile is not very strong. So let me give a little time and do some things to prepare. Join a research institute here to get more publications, prepare to write a GRE, do this, do that. If it's about joining bootcamp, yes, 100%, you can. But now I also want to talk about the results, the final year results question, as to if you can still apply even with that. Ask your advisor, ask your HOD, let them know your plans of or a professor that you have a good relationship with that likes you. Let the person like you, not someone that is trying to frustrate your dreams. So let them know your plans and that you need transcript to apply so that they can advise you, because there should be a way to probably expedite some of these things and you can get an unofficial version of your results, because it's going to be helpful to have as at the time you are making the applications. Okay. How many more minutes do we have? Okay, I'll be here for 9 more minutes. Let me see how many questions. 8 actually. How many more questions I can answer before the 1 hour 30 minutes mark? Okay. Computer science graduates, Peter. Hoping to do my master's in MBA. MBA is master, so call that tautology. I worked in a financial institution. What are my chances of getting funding? MBA is MBA. I love talking about MBA, and it's because to get scholarship for MBA, to get a fully funded scholarship, to get full tuition scholarship for MBA, whatever form of scholarship, as far as it's MBA that you want to do, you have to write the GRE or the GMAT. There is no other way. There is no other way. Like, there is no other way. To get funding, no matter your work experience, no matter the things you've done, to get scholarships for MBA, you have to write the GRE or GMAT. So, what are the chances of getting funding? If with your computer science, because MBA is open, no matter what the first degree is, nobody has an issue with that. MBA is open to everyone. Me now, as I finish my PhD now, I can go and do MBA. So computer science graduate, no issue. What are your chances of getting funding? I don't know what your undergrad CGPA is. No idea. But then your GRE, can you nail a 330 over 340? I believe you can. I've not met you before. But Peter, I believe you can. Yes, I do. I believe you can if you prepare well. If you use the GregMath website and you also put in the time, the resources are there, the templates, everything is there just for you to engage with the material. I believe you can. If you put in that stuff and you nail a high GRE score, then your chances of getting funding are high. Now, for the top tier MBA programs, round 1 has passed. So if you're planning to write GRE, the 100-hour stuff, you have to go the 4 hours per day method as opposed to the 2 hours for 2 months, because you want to apply as soon as possible. There's round 1, round 2, round 3, and all that for MBA and some other programs. So round 1 has passed. And round one is where the highest funding consideration usually is. Round one is usually like September. They pass around September. So chances of getting funding, write it as soon as possible. Shortlist schools, write it as soon as possible, and then apply. Apply. All right. So funding chances are high, for lack of a better word. Okay, so you're a good match, Kukozegi. Dalu, thank you. Thank you. Dalu means thank you in Igbo. All right. Moyo Sore, thank you for the people that are adding their names. Can I send code email to professors after completing the application? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can even send after you got an admission. After you've been admitted, you can still send. Yes. The main thing is that you're trying to get funding from them. So you might have gotten admission, but you didn't come with funding. And you now call email the professor and they say, oh, I have a grant. Since you've been admitted to the program, then, and your profile aligns with what I'm looking for, I can fund you. So you can send it after completing your application. You can also send it even after getting admitted, but the earlier the better, actually. So it's good to send it now. Send it now after you're done with your application. 1 year after graduation, I have work experience in a World Bank project and an FAO national program. What is FAO? What does FAO mean? Does FAO mean? Food and Agric Organization. Okay. FAO national program is recommendation either from those, better from those, or from my lecturers. This is a good question. It's a really good question. 1 year after graduation. 1 year. Okay. How do you split it? For 2, we're going to have like 2 and 3. So there are some programs that will need 2 recommenders. There are some other programs that will have 3 recommenders. So for the ones that have 2, 1 professor and then one of these 2. So 1 professor, yes, one of your lecturers. Every time I say professor, I mean lecturers. So 1 of your lecturers and 1 from any one of these projects. That's if you have 2 recommenders. Then if the school needs 3, that's now the one we have to think about. The school needs 3. The school needs 3 because this stuffs they carry weight. World Bank, FAO, especially the World Bank carries weight. If the school needs 3, I'll leave that to your jurisdiction to say how you split it. But this is what I recommend. So some of them would have 2 professors and any one of these 2, while some will have 1 professor, 1 World Bank, 1 FAO. So you can now choose to split how you want to split it. I'll leave that to you. You can also consider how you balance it so that everybody does not get too many. So it's not like one of your recommenders is getting like 10, another one is getting 3. So also bear that in mind. But from any of those angles, it will be good. Okay. Does volunteering boost funding opportunities without work experience? And can publishing my final year project help my research career? CGPA is 2.6 over 4.0. The first question first is, can you get admission? That's the first question. Can you get admission? That's the first question. Like this 2.6 over 4.0. This 2.6 over 4.0, except you're applying for a program that they accept 2.5 and above. If you find those programs, then you can apply to them. So two responses. One of them is you have programs that they accept 2.5 and above over 4.0. Then, yes, you can apply those. Volunteering boosts your foreign opportunities, relevant volunteering. So, for example, someone spoke about World Bank project, FAO. So those might have been volunteering. They most likely were. So volunteering in organizations that, like, the name carries weight, or it's also relevant for what you're going for. Yes, it will boost your chances. Publishing a final year project, yes, that one will help. If you're not applying to a program, if you don't find those kind of programs and you find the ones that they require at least 3.0 or 4.0, then in addition to your 2.0 or 4.0, I would advise you to get a master's and then apply for funding for PhD. Okay. Chinonye said in the chat that round one has not fully passed. Okay, so probably there's some schools that are still open for round one now. So you can double check. I think it was Peter that asked about MBA, so you can double check. Okay. Does the code email routes require recommendation letters also? The code email is to get funding. It's not for scholarship. Sorry. I take that back because that's tautology. The code email route is for scholarship. It's not for admission. If you send a code email to a professor and they tell you that, yes, I will fund you, you still have to apply for admission. And you may or may not get admission. That's the scary part. So it's a problem of, I have scholarship, or I don't have admission yet. I have scholarship, but I don't have admission yet. So if you go the code email route and you secure scholarship, you still have to apply to the program. So those things, your CV, your SOP, your recommendation letters, you upload your transcript, you fill the application form, you still have to do it. So yes, recommendation letters are still needed. Okay. And then I would stop with the next question. Stop here because of time. Finally, can a lecturer from a different department but the same faculty who I helped with grading papers during my undergraduate give me a recommendation letter? Different department but same faculty. Different department but same faculty. I really wish you called the names of the stuff. So are you in physics and the lecturer is in chemistry? Are you in mathematics and the lecturer is in statistics? Like, I really wish you called the name of the program. But if I'm to give a wild guess at this, help grading papers. If you have them grading papers, you were a graduate assistant. That should be your CV. Put it there in your CV that during your undergrad, you were a graduate assistant and you helped grade papers. Like, put it there in your CV that you were a graduate assistant. So, can they give you a recommendation letter? Yes, they can, from the standpoint of supervisor, like work supervisor kind of thing, not really from the standpoint of lecturer that has taught me and all that. So we've spoken here. You can have recommenders that are your professors and all that, and you can have your work supervisor also recommend you. So this person, although the person is a professor, they will be recommending from the standpoint of like work supervisor, because you worked with them and they can talk about your abilities to grade and all of that. Okay. I still feel like I should take more questions, so let me just keep going. I will be here as long as God gives me the strength. Okay, Precious, if you have questions, scan this code. I probably shouldn't be saying this because I'm trying to end this live, but we'll just keep going. Scan this code if you have questions. Don't put questions in the chat. I have to experience as a software engineer. What I'm reading here is 2 years of experience as a software engineer. Okay? And a first class degree in electrical engineering. I'm applying for a PhD in electrical engineering, but no publication. What are my chances? I'm not the admission committee to tell you what your chances are. But then the foundation that you have of the experience and the first class is a very good foundation. Most likely you did, if you're talking about first class, then I believe you're a Nigerian. So you most likely did final year project in your final year. So you have research experience, although you don't have publication. So you can leverage those things in your application. It will be helpful if you write the GRE. It'll be very helpful if you write the GRE. Let me show you. Let me share this instead. Okay, I was trying to share something else. Let's see. All right. Okay, so on my channel, this is the live tab. If you go to the live tab on my channel, this guy, Henry, he went from bachelor's to PhD. If you plan to do straight bachelor's to PhD, come and watch this video. If you're planning to do bachelor's to PhD, come and watch this video. If you finish with HND, then this video will be for you. Amaka is very, very tremendous lady. She came to US, did her master's in communication scholarship, finished with HND from Nigeria scholarship, and now she's doing PhD. Someone that finished with HND, she did master's scholarship, PhD now scholarship. Brilliant young lady. But if you are planning to do, and Precious, this is also for you, from bachelor's straight to PhD, then Henry, this video, he shared several schools in that video. Like he didn't hold anything back. He didn't hold anything back. So I would strongly recommend you check out that video. So you see what his profile looked like when he was applying. You will hear that he had to write the GRE, and then he also wrote a TOEFL. Although he's from Nigeria, he wrote TOEFL. Why? Because University of Minnesota, Twin Cities, which is where he is, the PhD in statistics program that is going for, they require that he should have TOEFL or IELTS to be a teaching assistant. And so you consider, oh, if I'm going to be a teaching assistant and I'm getting what, $40,000 of scholarship per year for 5 years, and it just requires me to bring out $220 to write the exam, man, I'll find the money. So there might be some other things you have to do to boost your profile. I won't tell you that, okay, with the 2 years on the first class, go ahead and apply. Nah, I don't want to break your hearts. I actually want you to be here next year by the grace of God. So please watch that video and be open-minded. You might be getting ideas of write this, do that, so that you still go ahead and do. Okay. Enobong. Hi, Onsobe. Hi, Enobong. I graduated with 2-1 in architecture, 2 years of work experience with no publications. Do you have a good chance? Do I have a good chance? No. Do you have a good chance of a fully funded program? 2 years, two years work experience, and 2-1 architecture. Masters. Talking about masters here. You most likely will be going the program route. So with your 2-1 and 2 years of work experience, within that 2 years, what did you do? Within that 2 years, what did you do? Did you were you part of the people that, for example, this is just a funny example. This is just a funny example. So, for example, were you part of the people that did the architectural work on Burj Khalifa? If within that 2 years you did the architectural work on Burj Khalifa, then awesome. Like, that is a big one. So I'm just I'm just joking there. Within the 2 years, what are the results that you're able to accomplish? Within the 2 years, what are the results that you were able to accomplish? Yeah. If you have significant results, things that you can show, things that you were able to do within that 2 years, then your profile, then that's a bump, a big bump on your profile, in addition to the 2-1 that you already have. But if not, then as you're checking out programs, do they require GRE? If they require GRE, then I'll advise you to write it. Yeah, but do you have a good chance? It also depends on the program too, because there are some programs that, yes, you have a good chance of getting funded. Fully funded, no. For masters programs in the US, majority of the funding that they get would cover your tuition and some of your living expenses. Majority. There are few that are fully funded that cover everything. You don't need a bank statement. It will cover your feeding, your rent, your tuition. Everything is 100% covered. Masters in the US, there are few. Mine was not 100%. All my tuition was covered, yes. I'm talking about my master's scholarships now. All my tuition was covered, yes. And I still had more from my living expenses, but I still had to show a bank statement. I've spoken about that in my video where I did my US visa interview stuff, so that you even see what my deficit was and with the questions I was asked. So, but for PhD, it was 100%. So no need for bank statement. Everything was fully covered. So I hope that answered your question. As I said, I'm not answering questions in chat. Scan this QR code or the link that is showing on the screen, and let me show the link again. And ask your question there. And also vote for other questions to be asked. For a master's program that requires 2 years experience, can NYSC count as an experience with current employment that is not up to 2 years? Yes. Yes, 100%. Yes. Yes. But you won't write it as NYSC in your CV and in your SOP. You're not going to write National Youth Service Scheme. No. The people you are submitting the application to, they do not know what National Youth Service Scheme means. The beautiful thing about NYSC and the way it works is you are going to be posted to a PPA, to a place of primary assignments, to a company or a school or somewhere. You are going to be posted somewhere. So wherever you are posted to, that place has a name, and the position that you are occupying there also has a name. So you write that in your CV as work experience. So yes, your NYSC counts, but you're not going to write National Youth Service Corps. You're going to write the name of the company, the location, and you also write your position there as well. Okay. Do I need to have a publication to use code, email, route, or funding? No, you must not. It helps a lot. If you do, yes, it helps. Do you have to? No, you don't have to, but you must have done a research work. Must. You must have done a research work. So whether it's a final year project that you've done, like there's something that you should have done. You should have done a research work. Even if you've not done research work, I was talking with my wife the other day, and then she was telling me what actually worked for her. Even if you've not done research work, then in your place of work, you've done projects that you can cite, you can talk about, that the person will understand, that is relevant to the person you are writing to. The best predictor of the future is the past. There needs to be something that you have done You can't just come with, oh, I have interests, I'm curious, I'm excited, I like this field, oh, I'm passionate about this. It's not enough. It's not. There has to be something that you've done. So if it's not a publication, then it's a final year project. If it's not a final year project, then it's a project as work. But everything has to be related to the code email you're sending and the person's research area. Okay. Let's still see how many more questions we can answer. Thank you for this session. BSc Chemistry, 5 years experience as SWE. I don't know what SWE means. Can I get fully funded scholarship for MSc, computer science, or data science? Okay, SWE, I'll take it as a software engineer. 5 years is a lot of time. So yes, you can. But remember, your profile is everything. Your 5 years is strong. You have a strong thing in your profile now. You have ingredients to make a very good soup. How you mix the soup is what matters. You have the ingredients to make a very good soup. How you mix the soup now is what matters. So the 5 years, yes, that's very good. Although your BSc is in chemistry, Abiodun, although your BSc is in chemistry, and thank you for putting your name. Your 5 years of experience is very significant. And if you've done projects, software engineer, it means probably you have a GitHub repository. Hope your projects are there. Hope there are things that we can link to, that you can link to on your CV. Your GitHub should be on your CV. That will link to the project that you've done within these 5 years. You were not just marking time for 5 years. There should have been tangible projects that you accomplished within the 5 years. So if you have all these things, then yes, the scholarship, the master scholarship is within your reach. Another thing is that you have to check, because a lot of the scholarships for, especially computer science in the US, a lot of them are for PhD. So I will encourage you to do a lot of search to actually find programs that have scholarships for master's students. All right, let's keep going. I have distinction in digital filmmaking, Coco, from a school in India. I don't have publication, just project work. Can I get funding for PhD in the US? Distinction, digital filmmaking. Now, I don't know. From a school in India. So this distinction, it helps me reason better when I am thinking in terms of like CGPA. When I'm thinking in terms of CGPA, it helps me to reason better. So I don't know if with distinction, so I'll assume your distinction is like a 3.5 over 4.0. That's what I want to assume. A 3.5 over 4.0 in digital filmmaking. Can you get PhD funding in US? Yes, definitely. But you have to still do more things. You might need to write the GRE. With your stuff alone, no publication, just project work, and your high undergrad is not enough. It's not enough, because PhD are going to fund you for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. Like the total money you're going to get at the end of the day for your PhD is around like $150,000 to maybe even $300,000. So just the distinction alone and your project work is not enough. Like you might need to write the GRE to actually bump the profile up. Okay. For bank statements, how does it work? Is your tuition, if your tuition has been covered when you get in, can you apply for assistantship to help with your living expenses? Okay. How does bank statements work? Let me show my channel again, because it's very important that you check out this video. So let me show the video where. So this video where I shared my experience, I've done till date, I've done 5. US visa interviews. 5, 2018, 19, 20, 21, and 23. 5 interviews. So the last 2 of them were approved, and those are the ones that I spoke about there. My experience in Nigeria, in Abuja, Nigeria, and also in the UK. That's what I did in 2023. I'll encourage you strongly to watch this video. Encourage you strongly to watch it. Okay, so how does bank statement work? Whatever you have your total cost of attendance. So they estimate your tuition is like $20,000. Your living expenses is like $10,000. So your total is $30,000. Let's say you got a scholarship, which is assistantship, because there's the scholarships in the US that can cover your tuition and assistantships. So you got an assistantship for $25,000. That has covered your tuition and the part of your living expenses, but you still have $5,000 that's out of your total cost of attendance because it's $30,000. So you have to show a bank statement with $5,000 when you're going for when you get admitted. So you send out to your international office. They'll send you an email when you get admitted. They'll send you an email requesting for you to send it to them, and then they will send you I-20, which you will use to go for your interview to go and apply for the interview. So that bank statement is important to show the deficit. First of all, for you to get tuition that was covered, even if it's only tuition that is covered, it's most likely 9 times out of 10 is an assistantship. So you cannot apply for extra assistantship when you get there, except if the assistantship is 10 hours. So if the one that you got that covered your tuition alone was 10 hours, international students, you can work 20 hours a week. But if the one you got was 10 hours, then that's fine. When you come on campus, you can now look for some campus jobs. It might not be another assistantship. It might. So you can also find another assistantship from another department, or you get on-campus jobs. There are many jobs, many waiting, many. There's dining, there's cleaning. There are so many jobs on campus, actually, that you can get this extra 10 hours per week from. All right. Okay. So Coco is saying the section is 3.9 over 4.0, higher than first class. Oh, it's the same thing in first class. Although, because first class falls into this 3.9 over 4.0. So with your distinction, with your 3.9, can you get a PhD, no publication, just project work? If you are not ready to write the GRE and all that, I will still advise you to write GRE. But if you are not ready, then follow the code email route. Follow the code email route and be ready to send a lot of code emails. Be ready to send a lot of code emails. All right. I think we've had a long marathon today. Okay. So thank you everyone that joined me today. This is like almost 2 hours here. It's been a very wonderful time. So next Saturday, well, we're going to have a webinar. Next Saturday is going to be a scholarship webinar. Be on the lookout for the flyer. Be on the lookout for the flyer next Saturday. And thank you for joining me today. I hope you learned so much. And have a good weekend wherever you are. Take care and keep your dreams alive. I believe in your dreams. That's why I keep showing up to help you achieve them. So wish you the very best. Do take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.